Johnny Carson revealed how some Golden Age stars use Hollywood connections to rise to the top. For more than 3 decades, Johnny Carson welcomed America into its living rooms every night. The Tonight Show was polished, playful, and safe. But when the cameras turned off, a very different Hollywood emerged. Behind closed doors, Carson became the industry's most trusted confidant. Stars relaxed. Filters disappeared. And in those unguarded moments, legends quietly admitted how fame was really earned during Hollywood's golden age. What Carson learned shattered the myth that talent alone built stardom. According to him, power, control, and private arrangements often mattered far more. Johnny Carson didn't just interview Hollywood's biggest stars. He listened to them. Producers, executives, and actors alike trusted him because he never betrayed their secrets publicly. Off-air, Carson became a vault of uncomfortable truths. According to former NBC staff and industry insiders, stars often revealed details they would never say on camera, especially after post-show gatherings. Carson understood the brutal mechanics of the studio system better than most. He knew which careers were driven by genuine talent and which ones were shaped behind bedroom doors. Carson wasn't interested in gossip for shock value. What fascinated him was the contrast between Hollywood's wholesome public image and its private reality. He saw how the studio system created an environment where ambition collided with exploitation, and where personal boundaries were routinely traded for opportunity. Number 9, Marilyn Monroe. When Marilyn Monroe sat on Johnny Carson's couch, America saw a playful, breathless blonde. Johnny saw something else entirely. According to Carson's private conversations, Monroe's rise from obscurity to global icon was not accidental. Insiders revealed to Carson that nearly every major break in Monroe's early career came through powerful men who expected something in return. Carson reportedly believed Monroe understood the rules of the system early on. While she was initially exploited by photographers, agents, and studio executives, she gradually learned how to leverage those dynamics. What troubled Carson wasn't her strategy, but the emotional toll it took. He believed Monroe eventually blurred the line between performance and reality, losing the ability to form genuine relationships. In Carson's eyes, she became the perfect example of how Hollywood could create a star while simultaneously destroying the person behind it. Number 8, Joan Crawford. Few stories impressed Johnny Carson more than Joan Crawford's. Born into poverty, Crawford rose to become an Oscar-winning actress and later a powerful corporate figure. According to Carson's private insights, Crawford didn't just endure Hollywood's casting couch culture. She mastered it. Carson reportedly learned that Crawford approached relationships strategically, treating them as alliances rather than romance. She formed connections with influential directors, executives, and even powerful women who controlled access to elite social circles. Unlike others who were broken by the system, Crawford kept emotional distance. Carson admired her pragmatism, believing she played Hollywood like a chessboard. In his view, Crawford wasn't a victim of the system. She was one of the few who bent to her will. Number 7, Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson represented everything Hollywood wanted America to believe. Tall, handsome, and ruggedly masculine. But Johnny Carson knew the truth behind the illusion. According to his private conversations with insiders, Hudson's entire public identity was manufactured to hide his homosexuality. Carson reportedly learned that Hudson's career was built on an elaborate deception involving stage romances, a sham marriage, and carefully controlled publicity. His agent, Henry Wilson, allegedly demanded sexual favors from young male clients in exchange for representation. Carson believed Hudson paid a heavy price for fame, living in constant fear that exposure would end everything. To Johnny, Hudson's story was one of Hollywood's most tragic, revealing how deeply the studio system policed identity in the name of profit. Number 5, Lana Turner. Lana Turner's personal life often overshadowed her acting, but Carson believed the public misunderstood her completely. According to his private assessments, Turner approached relationships with clear professional intent. What appeared to be chaotic romance often carried calculated benefit. Carson reportedly said Hollywood itself was Turner's true long-term relationship. Early in her career, she learned to be selective, forming connections that improved her standing at MGM. Rather than passively submitting to exploitation, Turner learned to control it. Carson admired her ability to assert agency in a system that denied women formal power. To him, she wasn't reckless, she was adaptive. Number 4, Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth's transformation from Margarita Cancino into a Hollywood goddess concealed a disturbing reality. Johnny Carson was deeply troubled by what he learned about her relationship with Columbia Pictures head Harry Cohn. According to insiders, Cohn exerted near total control over Hayworth's appearance, schedule, and personal life. Carson reportedly heard allegations of surveillance, manipulation, and enforced availability to powerful men. He believed Hayworth paid an enormous personal cost for her fame, trading autonomy for success. To Johnny, her story exposed the studio system at its most extreme, a place where women were treated as property rather than people. Number 3, Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power was one of Hollywood's most adored matinee idols. But Carson knew his rise involved carefully negotiated compromises. According to Carson's sources, Power formed discreet relationships with influential figures of both genders, all while maintaining a strictly heterosexual public image. What fascinated Carson was the studio's quiet acceptance of these arrangements as long as profits continued. Power, in Carson's view, understood Hollywood's hypocrisy better than most. He maintained the illusion required for success while navigating private freedoms behind the scenes. Number 2, Ava Gardner. Among all the stars Carson interviewed, Ava Gardner stood out for her honesty. According to those close to Carson, Gardner openly acknowledged that beauty and relationships played a major role in her career. She never pretended Hollywood was fair. Carson respected her clarity. Unlike others who rewrote their histories, Gardner accepted reality as it was. Her willingness to speak truth privately made her dangerous to an industry built on illusion. Number 1, Clark Gable. Before becoming the king of Hollywood, Clark Gable struggled. Carson reportedly learned that Gable's early career involved relationships with powerful industry figures who helped accelerate his rise. Unlike others, Gable eventually transcended these beginnings, developing real talent and commanding box office power. Carson admired Gable's resilience. To him, Gable represented someone who used the system briefly but wasn't consumed by it. What Johnny Carson truly revealed. Johnny Carson never exposed names publicly, but through years of listening, he understood Hollywood's unspoken truth. The Golden Age wasn't built on talent alone. It was shaped by power, silence, and transactions few were willing to acknowledge. Carson saw how ambition collided with exploitation, and how survival often required compromise. Hollywood sold dreams to the public, but Johnny Carson saw the machinery behind them. If this story changed how you see classic stardom, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because some Hollywood truths were never meant to stay hidden.